Hi, this is Philip again, and in this video, I would like to share and bring the good news to everyone that hydrogen and oxygen is now available to a different subscription. And as what we know, that it is only available for our Shopify Plus, but this year it is now available for basic, Shopify, and advanced plans. And the bad news is, as of this moment, this is not available for development store. But anyway, if you are really interested and excited to build your first hydrogen app into your client store, then I think you can still find your wish with your support of your client that if they can permit you to explore more in hydrogen application. And in this video, I would like also to showcase one of my skill sets, which is I can build a custom app from scratch, which is most of my previous project, it has been done in a Shopify Liquid theme. But then in this video, I will also to let you know that I am capable to migrate those custom app into a hydrogen apps. And one of the best example for this is the personalized engraving. And I think if you doesn't yet know everything about the hydrogen, then I think hydrogen it's a kind of headless e-commerce stack for a developer, which you can bring all the features from your own way how to solve those requirements. And I think without any further delay, let's go ahead and I will going to demonstrate you how the steps to add a hydrogen and oxygen to your Shopify store. And okay, so here in this store, this is a basic plan, and now we are going to add a hydrogen app. So what we're gonna do here is to click the app link and app sales channel settings, and here we're gonna look at the Shopify app store and we're gonna type hydrogen, and after that you found that hydrogen is there. We're gonna add this app, and in just few seconds it will bring to the screen that we can add this channel to our store. So we're gonna add that, and then once it's successfully added, and the first steps is that we are going to create our first hydrogen storefront. And I think if you doesn't know yet, this requires us to have a GitHub account. So at this demonstration, I have my own GitHub account, so I'm gonna use an existing repository. If you doesn't have, then you can still create your own repository. So let's go ahead and look at on my repository, and I think I added recently this repository to my integration. So we're gonna connect that, and I think there is no default branch yet. Okay, so what I gonna do, I gonna look at to visit my repository to my GitHub. I gonna copy this. I think what we need to do here is to add. Okay, I already created my Hydrogen Remix 2.0, and I think you doesn't know yet that Hydrogen 1 are now upgradable into a Hydrogen 2 with a remix features. And I think what we need to do here is to look at my Hydrogen Remix. Where is that? Hydrogen. Is this the right one? I think. Select. Okay, so here I added this engraving, and now we are going to push this all of these changes into a repository. So gonna add that git commit.m updates files. Okay, so here I want to follow the instruction. I'm gonna create a branch for that like this. Then here I gonna click the add URL, and then let's try to post these changes into our repository. And all right, so now what we're gonna do here is to look at the repository. Let's try to check in here, and let's try to connect again. Let's try to refresh the repo if these files are successfully added. Okay, it's there. So I want to connect it on the main. I think it's not yet gonna refresh, and let's try to create again. Connect existing, then hydrogen remix connect. Okay, I think this is working now. We're gonna wait for a while. There are few steps that will be available to our store. Now I think this is now added to the oxygen. So what we're gonna do here, we're going to look at the environment store API, and I think there is an API public token here, private access token. Use this token to access the storefront in client side. Use this token to access the storefront in a server context. Never share it in the public. Okay, I'm gonna copy this one. And here, let's try to change the environment. So there's one file here that we're gonna change. Should be this. This is the public storefront token and the URL of your store. So we're gonna change it to this URL, and we're gonna remove the HTTPS and extra slash, and let's try to run in our local if this will bring this uh, store into our local environment. Just gonna wait for a while we're waiting this deployment into our store hydrogen storefront, and I think it's still added to that. Where is that now? If we're gonna save. Okay, still not yet available. Merge onboarding pull requests. All right, so what we're gonna do is to check if it is everything is fine in our local environment, and I think it's working good. And what about my engraving added? Okay, so there is a problem with the engraving. So I think I did not add the engraving AP, the product ID, but of course the hydrogen are now reflected from that environment. Let's gonna look at the deployment from here. We're gonna check if this is already available. Okay, so the page doesn't exist yet. I think there is another problem here. We're gonna check. Okay, so now it is successfully deployed, but because there is a pull request that we're gonna do, so let's try to review. But the problem here, if I were going to accept that pull request, then it might not be, it could not be working on my local. We're gonna try to accept this pull request, confirm, And then let's look at back if this will work now. Still on progress and hoping this will work. Okay, let's try to look at if the Y by CC are still there. Okay, so everything is fine. So it will not automatically applies on your hydrogen. We're still doing on the existing one. It will still work, and as long as you are going to change your domain on whatever you want to apply the hydrogen once it is done. So you're gonna wait and wait is completely pull request. But now at this moment, I will going to add a new product for engraving. So the engraving will basically work well on my local environment. So right now there's a problem. So there's a problem with that. So what we're gonna do here, I'm gonna look at to add a engraving charges fee. So we're gonna try maybe 15, and then I will not track that quantity. We're gonna save this. Oh, SKU is blank. Why I don't need that SKU? Is this available in location? No, it's not. Let's try to, should be only in hydrogen. Manage the channel only for uh, hydrogen. It's done. Then SKU, let's try to type it engraving. Gonna save. Alright, I think it works. Now, what we're gonna do here, let's look at back if the poll changes are done. Look, it's this runtime logs ready. So you're gonna check if it's working now. Okay, so it's asking an account, so it's not yet in public. Okay, so now this is working from this URL. So let's go back. So there's a problem with that, so we're gonna change here. I'm gonna cancel this one, and then what I have to do in my engraving, we're gonna look at the library, the product handle, product index handle, and engraving should be somewhere in the GraphQL query. So I added a functions here that will add this GraphQL. So you're gonna copy that added replace that ID. So you're gonna look at here. Where is that uh, product? Let's see here. Engraving. Engraving. And then JSON. I will copy the ID of the product and paste it on the code. Should here save, and I think I'm gonna post these changes to my repo. Updates, added new engraving ID, get push origin main, and once it's added should be applied there. There is a rejection. I'm gonna pull, maybe it requires me to pull the changes first. Alright, so fins.a, and I hope this one works. And here gonna apply again the ID for the engraving. Is that fine? Okay, hopefully this one is now added to the main branch. Okay, it's done. Okay, let's try to look at in my local if this still working. In VM run div. Hopefully the engraving is now working fine. Let's just wait for a while. While waiting, let's try to look at in my hydrogen if all the changes are applied. Waiting for requests. What is there? Gonna erase this. It's still the same. Okay, let's look at in my local environment. Now here in my local environment is working well. So this is how I added engraving custom map into a hydrogen apps. So the same way what I can do in a liquid theme, so that could be done also in a hydrogen. So I think I could not easily find it in the live theme. So here we're gonna try to add if this is successfully added. Yes. So once you are added the engraving, it will also automatically add the price of your engraving fee. I think that works well. And then let's try to look at the hydrogen live theme if it's reflected my changes. It's not. Okay. Maybe we're gonna add that added new uh, engraving ID. All are working fine. They are up to date. Okay, somehow I think there is a changes that doesn't really automatically applies to our live team. Let's try to refresh again. Okay, now it applies. So here we are. So we're gonna add again, then second line, third line. Choose the font and add. Alright, so that's it. Okay, so I think that's all for this video, and hoping this video will start doing your hydrogen project with your client that have a different subscription. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate your time and looking forward to see you soon. Look for another video maybe anytime next week. Bye for now.